Got a story out of Tennessee. Shout out to Spirit Star for sending this in. It's about a 31-year-old mother originally from Eritrea. But first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from Tennessee, drop Tennessee below in the comments. Shout out to everybody from Murfreesboro, Laverne, Lebanon, Nashville. Much love to all of you. 31-year-old Eleni Kassa, she immigrated to America as a little girl along with her siblings. Their mom and dad passed away when they were very young. The details surrounding their parents' death in their home country are unknown, but Eleni was raised by her grandmother. With all of her siblings, they grew up as a close family unit. When Eleni was 25 years old, she gave birth to her daughter and raised her alone as a single mother. She ended up in a relationship with a woman. That woman is 36-year-old Dominique Hardwick. Eleni and Dominique had a pretty toxic relationship. In 2022, the police had to intervene after they had an argument. That argument started over a text from another woman. Dominique told officers that she pushed Eleni and hit her in her face. Eleni also told the cops that she had trouble breathing after she was grabbed by the neck. Dominique basically admitted to putting hands on Eleni and was charged. About 3 months after that incident, the couple still together. On Thursday, November 17, 2022, Eleni took her 6-year-old daughter to school, but she would never return to pick her up. She got into another argument with Dominique that day and left her apartment in Dominique's car. That afternoon, when school was out, Eleni failed to show up to pick up her daughter, raising concern over her whereabouts. According to her family, it was unlike her to leave her daughter at school. And when they tried calling her, they couldn't get an answer. The next day, Eleni's brother alerted authorities.
Day 4 in the search for a missing mother, Eleni Kassa, vanished last Wednesday. Murfreesboro police say she never picked up her daughter from school. And tonight, they say a license plate belonging to the car she might be in was flagged in another state. Here's News 2's Allie Lynch.
Since I was 6, she was my responsibility, so I feel like I'm failing her right now.
Her brother always in constant communication until November 17th when Eleni vanished, leaving behind her cell phone and car at her Murfreesboro apartment.
For her missing like that is very not normal.
Eleni's family says they became worried when she didn't pick up her daughter from school on Friday, something that's very out of character for Eleni.
She's a wonderful mother, and she is a wonderful sister, and she's just everybody's favorite person.
The 31-year-old and her brother traveled to the United States in the early 2000s after their parents passed away.
When I was 6, my mother and my father died, which is Eleni was 3 years old at the time. So I remember like holding her in my hand, tell her that our mother will come back.
Now, all these years later, he feels as if it's the same story.
So now I'm holding my knees and trying to distract her out of those.
Now, police say a license plate for a car she might be traveling in was flagged in Ohio, but there wasn't a traffic stop. We've asked police for more information about that. Bob?
It had been days since Eleni went missing after not showing up to pick up her 6-year-old daughter from school. Her brother told her daughter, his niece, everything will be okay. They will find her mother, Eleni. The same words he told Eleni as kids over 28 years ago when their mom and dad never returned. Police went to Eleni's apartment where they found her car and her cell phone. They conducted a search for more than a week, including 2 canine searches, one of a nearby creek. Multiple search warrants were also obtained, including one for the search of a home in Lebanon, Tennessee, where Dominique was staying. During the search, they found that Dominique's Dodge Charger was spotted by officers in Ohio and Michigan with the use of license plate readers. They ended up tracking the vehicle to Michigan's Oakland County, just outside of Detroit. Over a week after Eleni was reported missing in Tennessee, officers found her girlfriend's car in Michigan. That's where Dearborn police attempted to stop the car, but when officers approached the vehicle, Dominique took off. They chased behind her until losing sight of the car. A short time later, officers responded to a crash at a residence involving Dominique's car. She reportedly crashed into somebody's house. Police quickly arrived on scene where they exchanged gunfire with Dominique, and according to authorities, Dominique ended up taking herself out on the scene. When they looked in the trunk of her car, that's where they found Eleni lifeless.
Well, more answers tonight into that police chase that started last night in Dearborn, then ended in a shootout with police in Detroit. Officers then discovered a woman's body in the car's trunk. And tonight, state police have identified the remains as a missing mother out of Tennessee. Pamela Osborne live near the Dearborn-Detroit border, where that chase ended. And Pam, this ends a 10-day search for that missing mom.
Karen, this really was a horrible, violent ending for that 31-year-old Tennessee mother. We're told that her family that was desperate to find her, too heartbroken to speak tonight after learning it was, in fact, Eleni Kassa, who was in the trunk of a car that crashed into this home just yesterday. Monday night, Michigan State Police confirmed the Kassa family's worst fear. 31-year-old Eleni Kassa, who went missing on November 18th, was dead. Her body discovered Sunday in the trunk of this mangled black Charger. Investigators say Kassa's girlfriend, 36-year-old Dominique Hardwick, was behind the wheel. Authorities in Tennessee had been looking for the Charger and Kassa. An exhaustive search in the week following her disappearance turned up nothing. The license plate to that Charger later hit in Ohio, then in Oakland County, Michigan. Dearborn police spotted the car Sunday and attempted to stop it, but Hardwick took off, eventually crashing into this home at Normile and Tireman in Detroit. Shots were fired soon after the crash, and state police say an autopsy determined Hardwick died at the scene from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Still so many questions tonight. Police in Murfreesboro say their investigation led them to believe that this was some sort of a domestic dispute, that the two got into an argument before both of them disappeared. But we still don't know how exactly Kassa died or was killed here. That's something we're working and waiting to find out about. I should also mention there was another woman, a third woman, a passenger in that car. She was taken to the hospital. Police are questioning her in hopes of trying to make sense of all of this. But how do you really, when there is a little girl who will never see her mother again? Reporting live in Detroit, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Such a horrific story, Pamela. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Investigators are still interviewing witnesses, including the injured 34-year-old woman who was a passenger in the front seat of Dominique's car. At this time, it is unclear how the unidentified woman is related to Dominique and Eleni. Also, the circumstances surrounding Eleni's death have not yet been determined. Eleni's brother created a GoFundMe a couple of days before her body was found. At the time of this video, they raised over $43,000. That GoFundMe is now expected to help take care of Eleni's 6-year-old daughter, who will be raised by her family, and her brother says her body will be relocated to Eritrea. It's very sad that Eleni's 6-year-old daughter, she's going to grow up without a mother. Just like Eleni and her siblings, we will never know what started all of this. What was the argument about this time? 3 months before, the argument was over text messages from another woman, but it seems like they had a very toxic relationship with a pattern of DV. So we don't know what it was about this time, who initiated physical contact, but we do know how it ended. It ended with Dominique taking Eleni's life and ultimately her own. That's after driving almost 600 miles back to Pontiac, which is her hometown, where Dominique is from. As far as the unidentified woman who was found in the car, I want to know if that woman had anything to do with this. Did she come from Tennessee, or was she picked up along the way or in Michigan? What was her knowledge of Eleni? Did she know that she was in the trunk, or did she help put her there? How would police know if she's telling the truth? Eleni is gone, Dominique is gone. Could this other woman have something to do with Eleni's death? And is she possibly on her way to escaping punishment? I just don't know if we will ever know the truth. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below in the comments. What do you think happened here? And do you think we'll ever find out how the other woman, the only surviving one in the car, how was she related to them, and if she had anything to do with Eleni's death? Special thank you to our brother Edmund. I appreciate you, Edmund, for all of your support for the channel, as well as the brothers Dark Power and Havelock. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.